Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series presented by the Education Committee for the Southern California PGA. The Catalyst webinar series is a bi-weekly educational platform for creating success and change in your club and career. We're very honored and pleased and grateful for President Shelton to be making his time this morning to be presenting on the Catalyst webinar. President Shelton will be presenting on golf professionals in sales roles and how they excel compared to non-golf professional salespeople in those roles, especially in a private club arena. Good morning, President Shelton. Thanks for joining us this morning on the Catalyst.
Good morning, John. Thank you for the kind words. I always love hearing your introductions. I usually have a schedule conflict at this time, so I re-listen or watch all of the Catalyst webinars on the YouTube channel. And I think I can recite exactly your voice and just the words you emphasize when you're speaking. So I just love it when you how you get everything started. So thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you everybody for being here this morning.
Thank you, Robin. It's all yours, sir.
Kind of as getting started, as John mentioned, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about what I believe is that golf professionals make the best golf salespeople. And you know, in my career, I've seen companies, I've seen clubs hire quote salespeople, and I use air quotes there. That they hire salespeople with sales experience with very little knowledge about golf. So we hire people from outside industries with sales backgrounds to sell golf memberships, to sell golf tournaments, and I've noticed that it seems like every single time that happens, when someone is brought in from outside of the industry with a quote sales background and a very impressive sales background, when they get into golf, they don't succeed, and their tenure is very, very short. And I've noticed this, like I said, in membership director positions, tournament sales director positions, that people with a background of sales just don't perform and don't succeed. And that's been my experience. And as I've thought more about this in recent years and dug into it more, I really firmly and truly believe with all of my heart that golf professionals make the best golf salespeople. And so what I want to share with you today is some reasons on why I think that, and as well as some case studies of how I've come to that conclusion more so in recent years. I've had the fortune of overseeing multiple clubs in regional role, and we've hired golf professionals in those positions, and the results are much better. And at the same time, the golf professional also sees a increase in their income, because I find a lot of them we hire are assistant golf professionals that are ready to move into that next phase, and they do incredibly well. So again, we're talking about, hey, golf professionals making the best golf sales people. And for those that don't know, this is a picture of MAC Makeup. MAC Makeup is just a popular makeup brand that you would see in the malls. And anytime I think about salespeople and golf salespeople, I think there's a certain idea of who you think would be selling makeup. Well, I think I can do very, very well in sales. I don't think anybody would buy from me if I was selling makeup. If I went to the mall and was trying to buy makeup for my wife or for something, I would not be the person that I would be looking for. Even though I have a sales background and can perform well in sales, I don't think that I would be a good makeup salespeople. I think if you think of when you walk through the mall, or when you think of who would sell makeup, this might be a little bit more representative of a person that you would expect to be selling at a makeup studio. And this is actually a picture of a MAC makeup team from one of their stores. And again, I think if you would have anybody with a sales background and very skilled in sales and come try and sell golf, something they don't know or not familiar with, you may not get the result. And every time I walk through the mall and I see a makeup counter, I think of, hey, there is somebody, a very clear thing that I could not do or would not be successful at because I don't have that knowledge. And if we keep digging into this thought process, right, if you were to walk into a PGA Tour superstore, but I think you would have an idea of, hey, somebody that would sell you those clubs. And hey, no matter how strong of a quote sales background you had, if you came from an outside industry and didn't know golf, you might not do as well. So I think there's a clear idea of somebody or what the successful salesperson or somebody that you would want to buy from. And again, I emphasize, hey, someone that you would want to buy from in that role. And if you keep going down this thought, right, if you were to go to a gym, and whether you were trying to buy gym equipment or you were trying to buy training services, I think there is an idea of somebody who you have an idea of who would be good. You want somebody who has a fitness background, somebody who is familiar with fitness, somebody who looks, talks the part. And even if you had somebody with an experienced sales background, maybe they had a prior background in wedding sales, real estate sales, there's a certain amount of knowledge that somebody has to have to really be really good as a product expert in selling something. So I think, again, if you think about, hey, what fits that idea of who would be a great salesperson in a fitness role, fitness equipment, or fitness training, this probably is what comes to mind. And you can see this is a stock photo. It is found online when you Google fitness trainers or fitness equipment salespeople. This is what is there. I think you have this mindset. So what I think we tend to do in the golf industry and golf club is we try to hire, quote, salespeople and teach them golf, teach them tournaments, or teach them membership, as compared to hiring golf professionals and teaching them sales. And I think a lot of golf professionals are scared by the word sales. And I know I was. You know, sales was something I did not want to do when I was getting started in this business. And I thought, sales. I thought of this idea of a, quote, used car salesman. And since that time, I've come to learn and believe that sales is one of the most noble professions out there. And that's something that a lot of times makes people think twice when you say, you know, sales has a stereotype, but I really do believe that sales is one of the most noble and well done professions when you do it right. And I say this, and here's some data that I believe. I'm actually going to pause this for a quick second. Forgive me. That I think that people are scared by the idea of sales, and as I talk about salespeople, and salespeople really, I think there's a salesperson is much better when they're a product expert. And I think if you just look at this data from what I would say is the Pew Research and a very reputable research firm, that 84% of people want to buy from someone they know and trust. And I think, hey, there's a lot easier to develop a sense of trust when there's somebody who is a product expert. And again, hey, I would not go buy makeup from somebody like me. I'm not a product expert or somebody that they trust, but golf professionals, PGA golf professionals with a good, strong background are people who I believe do incredibly well selling memberships, selling golf tournaments, and also make more money when they're in those positions. And I think that sometimes, right, we as golf professionals don't like hearing no, right? We're in the hospitality business. The hospitality business is about saying yes. It's about accommodating people. And sometimes it's hard to hear no. And I had a mentor of mine tell me, hey, when you start selling memberships, you're going to have to be okay hearing the word no. It's going to happen. And sometimes as golf professionals, right, we may not hear the no when somebody takes a lesson from someone else, when someone else at the club gets that lesson. But if the average closure rate for all industries is 19%, if you think about it, that's probably pretty similar to, hey, lessons, right? There's somebody goes to someone else at your club. They may not take a lesson from you and they choose someone else. And the same can be true in, hey, memberships or tournaments. They may not, they may just choose someone else. And here's some more data as far as sales go, right? Sales statistics about a lot of people just, hey, don't return phone calls. I say salespeople don't return phone calls. Hey, they aren't persistent enough or don't add value to those conversations when they reach out to people. And especially in today's world, right, when people are so busy, there's so much information, there's so much noise coming at them, whether it be by way of an email, whether it be by way of a text or the TV or kids games or iPads, right, whatever it may be, there's so much there. So now that's part of the sales process and making sure that, hey, there is more than just one or two communications. And I think this is a really good slide and data and was an eye-opening thing for me in realizing this. And this is something that, hey, I would scream at the top of every mountaintop. I would, at the loudest speaker, the biggest microphone possible. That sales isn't selling something. Sales is solving another person's problem, need, or want. And when I say that I believe sales is one of the most noble professions, something that helps people, that when you're solving another person's problem, need, or want, there's very few things more noble and more worthy than that, of solving another person's problem, need, or want. And I think that a lot of times people think of sales and think of, hey, that used car sales. My wife and I are car shopping right now. And we just walked onto a lot and somebody comes out there and says, hey, here's a minivan that you should check out. There's TVs in the car and there's snow racks or racks on the top so you can put any type of equipment that you have, you know, when you're camping or going skiing. And this person just immediately jumped out with that information by judging and stereotyping us and trying to sell us this minivan because either he stereotyped or because there was an incentive on it. When in reality, hey, we have no kids, so have no desire for a minivan. The TVs mean nothing, and we don't surf or camp. But hey, had somebody just taken the time to understand what our problem, need, or want was, that's a total game changer. And again, I say sales is such a noble and worthy profession when done right, when you help people solve their problem, needs, or wants. And I touched on this a little bit earlier, but I think it's a huge point worth making, that people buy from experts and people they trust. And nobody is more of an expert than a golf professional. Nobody's more of an expert than a PGA golf professional about, hey, how to do tournaments or how to do memberships. I have a gentleman that used to work with me, and he sold weddings, and he was as good as they came in weddings. He was that stereotypical wedding planner you might see in a movie or on the TV, and just had that flair. But ask him to sell a tournament, and man, he was awful. Because when somebody said, hey, I need a second straightest drive hole, I want to do 3 long drives. Somebody says, hey, is there a slow play location on the golf course where I can put somebody? It could not speak to those things. So all of a sudden, when you don't have confidence in somebody as a part of the sales process, that connection is lost, and people want to buy from experts and people they trust. And hey, a golf professional is far better as an expert in tournaments, can answer all those questions as far as memberships, why membership's important, how the club operates, and can talk about, hey, the intangible things, not just, hey, the number of tennis courts or size, square footage of the clubhouse. So people buy from experts and people they trust. And this is such a big deal to me when I talk about, hey, golf professionals selling things that are golf. And as I keep kind of digging into my beliefs here, I don't think that nobody wants to be sold anything. People want help buying. And again, going back to sales isn't selling something, it's solving a person's problem, need, or want. People buy from product experts. They want help buying. You know, if you're going out looking at a car, looking at a house, you want someone who's going to help you with that process. And a lot of times it's educating. And so much of the, quote, sales world is educating people on, hey, what's important to them, or let me phrase it, understanding what's important to them, and then educating on, hey, why something could be better. And I say that, hey, nobody will be better helping people buy golf than golf professionals who are product experts. And I also believe that all things being equal, people buy from people they like. And all things unequal, people will still buy from people they like. And I think as golf professionals, right, we have this ability to connect with people, to talk, to be hospitable. And because of that, there's a natural, hey, I'm more inclined to like that person. And I think we can all probably relate to this at some point, where we've had a vendor in our golf shop that we bought because we liked that sales rep, or that sales rep was better. Their product may not have been as good, but hey, because that person, the sales rep, was better at following up, was better at taking care of, he was better in communication. That all things being equal, people buy from people they like. And all things unequal, people will still buy from people they like. So if I've got 3 different clubs that somebody's looking at membership at, and 2 of them are non-golf professionals and 1's a golf professional, I would put my money on that golf professional. Because, hey, they are the product expert. They are much easier to be liked by, because, hey, they can understand and talk about everything. So let's talk about a couple case studies. So I've got a couple case studies I'm going to share from clubs that I've been involved with over the years. And basically what you can see is every screen will look like this. And you can see on the left, or at the top, it says, hey, case study, the position, right? So this one's a tournament sales director. Prior year, so the performance that happened prior to the golf professional being in that role. And on the right side, you'll see the compensation, what that person was making prior to being in that position. And then the data is going to pop up as the performance is going to say the first year. So I have the difference in the result. And then the compensation will come up with what that person makes. So most of the time, this was an assistant golf professional moving into a sales position. So this first case study, again, is a tournament sales director. And the prior year, the club did $24,000. The following year, that person got that club in their first year to do $128,000. $104,000 difference from a quote non-golf professional selling tournaments to a golf professional selling tournaments. Then that golf professional went from making $40,000 to making $90,000. They were an assistant golf professional and then went into a director of sales role that sold tournaments, memberships, and catering. So again, a tournament sales director brought in $100,000 more in 1 year and increased their pay by $50,000 by just going from a assistant golf pro position to being a full-time sales director. All right, next case, so this is a membership director position. So the prior year, the club did $200,000 in initiation fees, and the person was making $90,000 before. Director of sales comes in, nearly doubles the initiation fees at the club, and increases his income by $50,000. Again, this is just the difference of a golf professional following somebody who was not a golf professional. And then, hey, they did better, they performed better for their club and their employer, and they also did better financially for themselves personally. More case studies. I'm another membership director. So membership director was doing the club was doing $250,000. First year went to $530,000 in initiation fees. That assistant golf pro was making a whopping $27,000 and then went to $60,000 in their first year. So again, there's this theme that when you put golf professionals into sales positions, they do better for the club and they in turn make more money. And I believe that as we need to be thinking about golf professionals going into sales position or helping promote golf professionals into sales positions or looking to hire golf professionals into sales positions. All right, here's another case study from a club. This one we're going to talk about, hey, number of members. So just a membership number. The club had 468 members. And then when a golf professional came in and got into that role, a year later they had 568 members. So 100 members net better. That person was making $60,000 before they got into that role. It was making $90,000. So again, the same theme, hey, the club does better. The club does better, that golf professional makes more money from the role they were in. Hey, case study again, this is another membership director position. I keep saying that golf professionals make the best golf salespeople. Because sales isn't selling something, it's solving a person's problem, need, or want. People buy from product experts, people who are knowledgeable. And who's more knowledgeable at golf, golf tournaments, golf memberships, than golf professionals? So this club, the prior year had 98 attrition, so 98 members left the club in the prior year. When one of the assistant pros was hired to become the membership director at that club, that attrition went from 98 to 48. And that assistant golf pro was making $35,000. And that assistant golf pro then went to making $70,000. And again, the theme, hiring golf professionals into golf sales roles, does better for the club, better for the employer, and also better for the golf pro. And we just have to get golf pros ready, wanting, and able to see sales positions as opportunities. Here's another one. Tournament sales director. Again, I keep saying that, hey, golf professionals will sell golf better. Golf professionals are the product expert. People buy from people who are knowingly good and know the subject or know the topic or know what's important to them. And I said, hey, the tournament sales world, right? They mentioned that I've had tournament salespeople who don't know where to put the second straightest drive hole, the second longest drive hole. Hey, where's a good spot for somebody who's going to have 14 different vendors on holes? Which holes do you not include from a pace of play standpoint? But this case study was, hey, first year, the prior year there were 13 open Mondays. If the club had 52 total Mondays, right, the club's trying to sell every Monday. This is a private club. If the club was trying to sell every Monday, they had 13 open Mondays. When that golf professional took on that role, there were 7 open Mondays. And that golf professional's compensation was at $40,000 and went to $65,000. And again, the theme continues to be every time that I've been at a club that's been involved in, hey, hiring or needing to fill a sales position that was selling golf. Again, selling golf tournaments, selling golf memberships. There was a huge benefit to the club, and there's a huge benefit to that golf professional because they in turn make more money than being somebody who just works in a golf shop. They become more involved in the operation, more involved in the club, more involved in the financial success of it. So with that, I wanted to keep this pretty short to be open for questions on kind of that presentation and the questions on the idea of golf professionals being salespeople. And also be available for any questions on the section, any questions on what we're doing from a section level. We're in a little bit of a different time right now because of all things COVID. And you know, we haven't been able to meet or be together. So we're in the process of whatever this is, January 21st, of kind of updating and creating our new strategic plan and priorities for the year. We have our section board retreat the first week of February, where that will get finalized. And that board retreat is going to be done by way of Zoom. So happy to take any questions on the presentation or any questions on kind of what the section is looking at as priorities for the year, or just any general questions on the section. We also have Mr. Tom Addis and Mr. Jeff Johnson with us that can also answer any questions that might come up as well. So John, if now's a good time, I'm ready for any questions.
Thank you, Robin. Indeed. Regarding sales roles in golf professionals, have you seen golf professionals in your personal experience excel in roles other than golf professionals and membership sales personnel at the country club or golf course level?
So as far as I think other positions that involve sales, right? I mean, you can say, hey, lessons are a type of sale, club fitting is a type of sale. So if you count those, absolutely. You know, what other positions include sales, right? You're talking about catering and or weddings. I have seen that, but it takes somebody who really wants to be a product expert in it. And, you know, if you go back to kind of the wedding, or I'm sorry, the makeup slides that I use, sometimes, right or wrong, people may not necessarily want to buy from somebody like me a wedding, but I have seen golf professionals do well in catering or event wedding sales.
Well, it's certainly a testament to the truth of people wanting to buy from people they know and trust. You see that here. I can sell a wedding if I know the client. I could sell a wedding if it's the children of a member that I have a strong relationship with. People generally buy from people they know and like, and all things, like you said, all things being unequal, people generally buy from people they know and like. So it's certainly a testament to the truth of that. Regarding the section, what plans do we have in terms of furthering participation and engagement with the section, given the limited ability to gather in terms of the 2021 calendar?
So I think if I'm hearing kind of the question correctly, just, hey, how do we engage and keep people connected? I'd say, hey, we're going to be more doubling down, if you will, on the virtual side of things. Obviously, our Catalyst webinars have gone to a weekly format. We're doing the Launchpad will be done as well virtually. We've got a couple programs that we're finalizing or working on finalizing to do those virtually, and then all of our meetings look like they will be virtual through. Hard to say right now. I mean, I think we're the next major thing that we would have, or at least we're pretty confident that, hey, through April will be virtual, which then puts us into May or June. So the summer meeting is scheduled to be at Tamarisk that first or second Monday of June. And we'll make a call when we get closer to that date and have more information on safety and COVID, if that will be done in person or virtually. But we're definitely trying to, quote, double down on the stuff that we can do virtually to keep people connected.
Okay, those are all the questions I have. Jeff Johnson, Tom Addis are on the call. Would you gentlemen like to make a statement or a comment? I know, Jeff, you had talked a little bit about the associate new member orientations that are calendared for the next 6 to 8 months. Would you enlighten us, if you could?
Yeah, we do these orientations for newly elected PGA members as well as the associates who are newly registered. And we'll be doing 6 of them this year. And as Robin was just saying, we'll be doing all of them virtually, which has been really quite beneficial. As in many cases, we have people coming from San Luis Obispo all the way to the border in Chula Vista, and allowing all of us to be connected by virtue of Zoom or GoToMeeting as we are today has really been helpful, and I think it's been actually advantageous. So those orientations will continue. They're very important because they give new members as well as the associates a glimpse into just what your section does and what our officers and board of directors do. And I know Tom and I and Nikki relish those opportunities to be with some new people to the association as well as some recently elected PGA members. And the dates will be laid out and shared with those that need to come and attend those orientations. And we look forward to them. We've expanded the schedule from a typical 4 to 6 this year. And it's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, John, too, and Robin mentioned some of the virtual things we're doing. We're going to continue the California Nevada PGA chats every other Friday for as long as everyone would like to do that. We feel it's fairly critical over the next couple of months with what's going on out there. We also, our Youth Golf Summit in March is going to be virtual this year with a great lineup. So you can plan on those. We are going to expand our coaches chats as well. So we have a great number of activities that are available. And of course, hey, they have the MSR credits that go along with them. Our outdoor activities have been where we've been able to do them. December, January was a challenge, of course, and remains a challenge. But when we do have the activities, our events, based on the number we can do, have been full and very popular. So, of course, golf is extremely popular right now, as evidenced by what you're experiencing out there with the numbers of rounds, the revenue, and the high interest that people have in participating, even waiting in line to get on practice ranges. So the section will continue with a great number of activities, and we're looking forward to that and pushing those out for everyone's benefit.
You know, too, as Tom mentioned, the MSR opportunities, there's never been an opportunity like this, not only with the MSR deadline being extended for one additional year, but the offerings literally on a weekly basis. And this is the first time that we've been close to 65% of all PGA members having met the MSR requirement, with still a year and 3 months to go. So, again, a lot of good stuff going on, and I hope people take advantage of it.
You know, a follow-up comment to Robin's presentation in regards to member sales and creating interest in your product, whether it's a golf course or membership. That's an expanded opportunity that's been opened, as Robin was mentioning, to PGA professionals, especially over the past few years, as clubs have looked towards bringing a qualified person in to sustain their membership, maintain their membership, as well as pushing to open up for more members. So that's really a great career opportunity. And again, the PGA has expanded even classifications to include membership sales, for example. So I think that was part of the presentation that was pretty valuable, especially if you look at it as going forward as an employment opportunity as well.
And the same time has happened with player development. You know, membership sales is the category, and player development has also seen a tremendous surge at many clubs, and actually a position that's there to assist in getting people to play and keeping those that are playing for longer. A lot of good things on the horizon, I think.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like that is all we have for this morning's time with President Shelton. TA, Mr. Johnson, thank you very much for joining us. I want to remind everybody that the Catalyst webinar is on every week at Thursday, 8 a.m. Next week, Robin Shelton, today's presenter, will be your host and administrator, facilitator next Thursday. I will be going under the knife for a small back procedure, but I'll be back the following week. Thank you very much for supporting the Catalyst. Stay safe, stay sane. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, John.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.